Good evening. I'll start in French. Un grand bienvenue pour cette rencontre avec nos deux artistes bleus, Peter Martensen, peintre, plasticien, performeur, et son ami Morten Søndergaard, poète, performeur, artiste sonore et plasticien que nous avons eu la joie d'accueillir pour la première fois à l'occasion de l'exposition Bleu. Je suis également très heureuse de la collaboration pour cette soirée de ma consoeur Barbara Polla de la galerie Avec Forever, qui a elle-même une très importante pratique de l'écriture et un grand engagement avec la poésie. Merci Barbara de nous prêter ta voix et tes talents ce soir. Nous sommes ravis de vous retrouver pour ce moment d'échange et de partage. Nous allons laisser le temps aux derniers arrivants de se connecter avant de rentrer dans le vif du sujet. En attendant, je vous détaille rapidement le programme de cette rencontre prévu pour durer environ 1 heure. Nous sauterons un peu entre les langues, le français et l'anglais. J'espère que vous parviendrez à suivre. Nous allons débuter avec la lecture de Barbara et de Morten, des poèmes issus de L'Attrape-Soleil, paru aux éditions Jocasseria en 2020. Suivra une petite vidéo, le dialogue de Morten et Peter, qui enchaîneront avec une performance. Il y aura encore une lecture de poèmes suivie d'une très courte vidéo Wildlife. Et nous terminons avec une conversation sur l'exposition Bleu et sur les univers respectifs de Peter et de Morten. Now in English. Welcome to this meeting with our two blue artists, Peter Martensen and his friend Morten Søndergaard, that we've been delighted to welcome and to host for the first time at the occasion of the show Bleu. I'm also very happy to collaborate with my colleague Barbara Polla from the gallery Avec Forever, herself a writer and deeply involved with contemporary poetry and writing. Thank you, Barbara, for lending us your voice and your talents. We are thrilled to share this moment with you, and we'll just leave a few instants for everybody to connect. Meanwhile, I should quickly outline the program that is scheduled to last for about 1 hour. We'll switch between English and French. I hope that you'll be able to follow. We start the evening with Barbara and Morten's reading of poems from the collection L'Attrape-Soleil, Suncatcher, published by Jocasseria in 2020. Then follows a small video, the dialogue, and after this, Peter and Morten will do a performance. There'll be more reading, another short video, Wildlife, and we end with a talk on the show Bleu and on Peter and Morten's artistic worlds. So now I will let Morten and Barbara take over. We start, I think, with a poem in Danish, The Suncatcher, to let you hear the sound of the original version of the poem. Let's go.
Thank you so much. I read the Danish. Solfanger. Det er midt på dagen, og jeg er den utydelige grænse mellem kaos og orden. En gade drypper af farve, og den gale går tur med sin abe. Hun mangler fingrene på den højre hånd. Men det er solen, der er viklet ind i gaze og kastes tilbage i vindspejlet på en rød og hvid ambulance. Min krop er fuld af hvide ting, provisoriske tegn på, at jeg findes og at solen skinner.
L'attrape-soleil, c'est la mi-journée. Je suis la frontière indécise entre ordre et chaos. Une rue dégouline de couleurs et la folle se promène avec son singe. Il lui manque tous les doigts de la main droite. Mais c'est le soleil qui est emmailloté dans la gaze et qui se reflète sur le pare-brise d'une ambulance, rouge et blanche. Mon corps déborde de choses blanches, présages provisoires qui attestent que j'existe et que le soleil brille. Une Toyota rouge passe en trombe, musique hurlante, les maisons oscillent au bord d'un abîme trop noir, l'angoisse pousse comme un champignon sur la muraille fissurée, les clochers sont de blanches canules fébriles et les nains font du patin à roulettes à toute vitesse à travers le quartier en portant des flambeaux en flammes parce que quelqu'un va mourir. Et le soleil, lui, à travers de blancs rideaux de dentelle, éclaire une jeune fille qui vient juste d'ouvrir le premier tome dans la recherche du temps perdu. Elle vient de se faire du thé et balance les pieds, elle taille son crayon et souligne des phrases essentielles d'un trait au cordeau qui est presque invisible. Rechercher. Tu attends, couché, que j'ai achevé mon méfait. Nous faisons l'amour dans des voitures volées, de préférence rutilantes à intérieur cuir. Nous sommes recherchés dans tous les journaux et nous avons pris la pluie en otage. Mon ombre se détache sur un mur blanc, un insecte rampe sur ta robe. Beaucoup plus tard, dans un pays frappé par la sécheresse, nous partageons le butin, un peu d'argent, un manteau, des chaussures, et puis nous nous séparons à nouveau. Tu sors dans le soleil pour projeter des ombres. J'entre dans l'obscurité pour la violer.
I just want to show the book and name the translators. It's Christine Berlioz and Leila Flink Chulsen. And the cover is made by William McKendrick. Yoka Seria. And then I'm gonna read a poem in English, and then Barbara will read it in French, and then we have a video. And what do you do? The hairdresser asks. And I reply as usual that I am a tamer in a traveling circus. But when I look at myself in the mirror, I most of all look like an insane Catholic pater with water-combed hair and ridiculous nylon cloak. The madman in the corner shakes and shakes. He pees in the sink again, and the hairdresser plays music on his comb for the parrot in the cage of straw. My sparse hair wraps around the chair in neat little tufts. There are always bike races on the radio, but atmospheric disturbances prevent the stations from going through clearly. The hairdresser removes years from my hair. It smells so nice of honeysuckle and bombings. Now he's done. I pay and go. Now I'm another. No, it's the other way around. It's the other who is me again.
Quel est votre métier? Demande le coiffeur. Et je réponds comme d'habitude que je soigne les animaux dans un cirque ambulant. Mais quand je me vois dans le miroir, je ressemble surtout à un prêtre catholique fou avec mes cheveux plaqués et ma cape ridicule en nylon. Le fou dans le coin branle et branle la tête. Il pisse à nouveau dans l'évier et le coiffeur joue du peigne pour le perroquet dans la cage de paille. Ma chevelure clairsemée gît éparpillée autour de la chaise en charmante petite mèche. La radio diffuse en continu une course cycliste, mais des perturbations atmosphériques empêchent le son d'être audible. Le coiffeur vaporise des années sur mes cheveux. Cela embaume délicieusement le chèvrefeuille et les attentats à la bombe. Il a terminé. Je paye et pars. Je suis devenu un autre. Non, c'est tout le contraire. C'est un autre qui est redevenu moi.
Merci beaucoup. We will continue now with one of those small video ads that Morten and Peter created for the exhibition and that we have been posting all along the show. This one is entitled The Dialogue and it lasts about 4 minutes. So here we go for the video. Bon. Maintenant, nous allons accueillir une performance. Ça sera un peu, this performance will be a compensation for the performances we couldn't do during the show as scheduled. They were supposed to be consultations based on the pharmacie de mots, or the word pharmacy, a literary work that Morten has created, where he has treated the 10 categories of words as if they were remedies, each which they actually are, with each their function in the body of the language. So I will let the word pharmacist and his patient take over.
Thank you so much. Hello. Hello, Peter.
Hello.
Welcome to the word pharmacy. I'm very happy that you could join. I've been looking forward to meet you. And I have a questionnaire here. Some questions that I would like to ask you. And I just start by you stating your name, please. Thank you.
My name is Peter Martensen.
Martensen. And your occupation?
I'm a painter.
Painter. And your gender? Would that be?
Male.
Male, yeah.
Yeah.
And can I ask your age?
My age is, in 20 years, it's 88.
88. Okay, 88 to come. And your nationality? What would that be? Your nationality? Could that
My
be?
nationality is Danish.
Danish, okay, Danish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your mother tongue?
My primary language is body language, but when I use sound, I speak Danish.
Actually, I can say that I once saw you paint, and it's very true that it's body language is your first language. It was more like a dance in a way, what I've witnessed back and forth to the canvas. It was very beautiful. Okay, and your first word, did anybody let you know the first word you had?
My first word?
Yeah.
I'm convinced that it must have been blah blah.
Blah blah. Okay, blah blah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And do you have any difficulties in spelling, stuttering, linguistic challenges of any kind?
Yeah, I think I have a lot of difficulties, but if I should mention all of them, we could sit here until tomorrow.
Okay.
So I don't know if
you don't want to pick one particular.
I think no, it's because I always see pictures before I
before you see the word.
yeah. But it's not. I'm not seeing words. I'm seeing pictures. So
yeah. It's very interesting if we ever see words before the thing. I mean, that would be very interesting to think about. Actually,
yeah.
We can ask Foucault about that. Do you have any allergy, or do you get rashes when you hear special words, or is there any expressions that make you uncomfortable in any way? Yeah. Okay. What could that be?
Financial growth.
Financial. Okay. Yeah.
Financial growth.
Growth. Financial growth. Yes. I understand.
The stock market.
Stock market.
Yeah.
So okay. Is that because you have any financial problems yourself, or?
No, it's
just this idea of growth.
It's the consequences of actually doing these things or to impose it to the reality.
There is a kind of violence there going on.
Yeah, I think only living creatures can grow.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So on the contrary, is there any words that you particularly like, or I mean, what are your favorite words? For instance, what would that be? Your favorite word? What could that be?
Yeah, it's really difficult because words are fantastic.
I agree.
And should I mention a word containing a certain meaning, or should I just choose a word for its musical sound? But when I say butterfly,
yeah,
I get a very nice feeling.
That's a very beautiful word. Is it in English or in Danish then when you say butterfly?
Well, now you hit me. But in
butterfly is
it's a sommerfugl. It's because I love birds too.
Yes.
In Danish, sommerfugl means summer bird.
Summer bird, yeah, which is beautiful.
I love birds.
But butter is also weird to put in the butter, a fly. We have to check that out. Yeah. Why is it fly in the butter? Yeah. But I agree, it's a very beautiful word. It's a very beautiful word. Yeah. So, last question here before I prescribe you a word class. Did this exhibition, blah blah bleu, in any way change your language? Did something happen to your language during this time, or even in the pandemic time?
Yeah, in many ways. As far as you always make me think of new words and new meanings by putting words together. That's a richness that I feel being with you. I think actually you made me look at the word bleu or blue as something very particular. Yeah, I used to, when I say blue, it's for me it's a color, but you have sort of made me see the color as a word.
And, that's very beautiful. Thank you, Peter.
The word is has a lot of meaning. There are so many connotations.
Yeah, we actually talked also about indigo, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that's also a very beautiful word in itself.
Yeah, indigo. Yeah.
It's kind of almost covering the color. Blue is more modest, you can say.
Yeah. Indigo is really aristocratic.
Yes.
And very, very deep and very, very intelligent. But
it's true. Words can be, or they can pretend to be intelligent, or they can pretend to be not. I mean, dumb even. But then you are kind of fooled sometimes. Don't be fooled by words. So, just to end the session, Peter, I'm simply not. I'm not able to choose one category for you, so you get the whole box. Okay. You should never lack any words.
Oh,
here you go.
Thank you.
Back from the blue into the blue. Thank you. I'm happy to pass on the word to Barbara and Morten for another reading.
Thank you so much. I start off with a small poem in English. It's called The Visit. It happened again. You came to visit me, and the universe split in two. One where you came to visit me and one where you didn't came to visit me. Afterwards, we sat in my kitchen while we talked about the strange thing that the universe doubled itself. And we drank a cup of tea in the universe where you have come to visit me.
Cela s'est encore produit. Tu es venu me rendre visite et l'univers s'est coupé en deux parties. Et une où tu es venu me rendre visite et une où tu n'es pas venu me rendre visite. Puis, nous nous sommes installés dans ma cuisine tout en commentant le fait extraordinaire que l'univers se soit dédoublé. Et nous avons bu du thé dans l'univers où tu étais venu me rendre visite. As we drove off the ferry, elle, la mort, ça c'est mon titre. Pardonne-moi, Morten. Quand nous avons débarqué du ferry, elle était assise sur le siège arrière d'une voiture. Elle m'a fait signe. Je savais que nous nous envolerions ensemble pour l'Ouzbékistan. Elle attendait juste derrière moi à l'enregistrement. Mais elle a changé d'avis et a choisi une autre file d'attente. À une certaine époque, j'étais persuadée de voir son visage tous les jours dans la rue, d'un sourire seulement ou d'un petit geste vague. Elle m'indiquait sa présence. Je consultais un psychologue, mais j'ai mis trop de temps à découvrir à qui je dévoilais mes pensées les plus intimes. Récemment, j'ai découvert qu'elle n'a pas obligatoirement besoin de faire partie de l'espèce humaine. Elle peut aussi bien être un merle, des ciseaux ou un téléphone posé sur une table, un morceau de musique ou un poème dans un recueil. Il n'y a pas plus longtemps qu'hier, je l'ai vue à la télévision, en plein milieu d'une émission pour enfants.
Barbara, if you have the lovers.
Yes.
Yes. So I would like you to read that one now, please.
With pleasure.
Yes.
I love the lovers.
I can imagine.
Je me réveille dans un pays où les amoureux ont pris le pouvoir. Il y a des lois qui proclament que personne n'est plus contraint de détourner les yeux ni les orgasmes de s'arrêter. Les roses servent de monnaie, les fous sont adorés comme des dieux et les dieux sont considérés comme des fous. Le service public postal est rétabli et les mots « tu » et « je » sont synonymes. Après la Révolution, il a été décidé que les malheureux en amour seraient bannis pour la sécurité des heureux en amour. Quand ils en arrivent à moi, je capitule immédiatement. Le bourreau est une femme et tout se passe très vite. C'est l'hiver et je ne t'ai pas encore rencontré.
Thank you so much, Barbara. So this is the last poem, and I want to thank you, Barbara, and also again Christine Berlioz and Laila Fink-Tulesen for this translation that makes it all possible tonight with this reading. And I'm going to read Euphoria, and it was supposed to be read in English, but I think we do it in Danish. Why not? You will understand it anyway, I'm sure. Eufori, det er virkelig blevet sommer. Sommer i skuffen med plastikdyr, sommer i min vandrette sjæl og på gåturen med åben skjorte. Det er blevet sommer i grublerierne, sommer der, hvor albuen rammer dørkarmen og i posen med kaninfoder. Det er blevet sommer i min nattevågen og inde i vaskemaskinen. Det er blevet sommer på listerne over selvmord. Sommer mellem de kolde pastaer i afløbet. Sommer i dukkevognen og i markedskræfterne. Det er blevet sommer ved mine fødder. Det er blevet sommer ved den franske grænse. Det er blevet sommer på bunden af hvert punktum. Sommer, hvor kattene færdes. Sommer på telefonsvareren. Sommer på trappen, der fører fra barndom til voksen. Fra melonkød til natskød. Det er blevet sommer i en mælket umulighed. So Barbara has to French.
Barbara? Ja, Barbara vil le lire en français. Ça va? On a le son de Barbara? Ouais.
Sommer.
Sommer.
Sommer. Sommer. Sommer est vraiment là. L'été. L'été dans le tiroir aux animaux en plastique. L'été dans mon âme qui fait la planche et dans la balade chemise ouverte. L'été est là dans les rêveries. L'été où on se cogne le coude au chambranle de la porte et dans le sac de la nourriture pour les lapins. L'été est là dans ma nuit éveillée et dans la machine à laver. L'été est là dans les statistiques du suicide. L'été entre les pattes froides dans l'évier. L'été dans le landau de poupée et les indices du marché. L'été est là à mes pieds. Et à la frontière française, l'été est là au fond de chaque point. L'été où les chats rôdent. L'été sur le répondeur. L'été dans l'escalier qui mène de l'enfance à l'âge adulte, de la chair du melon à la chair de la nuit. L'été est là dans une lactescente impossibilité. Sommer.
Sommer.
Merci beaucoup. Well, thank you so much. Now, before we continue with the talk, we will just show you the first of the ad films, the ad videos that Morten and Peter created. It's entitled Wildlife, and the images were registered with a wildlife camera. Let's go for the wildlife.
Der er ingen bondevinder.
Well, I find it difficult not to smile when I see this fantastic film from the real wildlife in Denmark. And I think it's a good way of starting our talk. First of all, where we all noticed that Peter and Morten were wearing blue. So there must have been something with this blue thing at that stage. Was it the beginning of the blue conversation? What do you say, Peter? When did this blue conversation start?
Yeah, actually, this movie, these small pieces of movie were made long time before. I just had them on my laptop, and it was when we began to talk about it, I thought of using them, but all this about blue, I don't know. I guess it was my idea that I wanted to make a huge painting, maybe a very important painting in my life. I just told myself that sometimes you have to push yourself in a way, and I had the feeling that if I did this huge blue painting, I could put all my life into it. And therefore I began to make sketches, small sketches for this work. And Morten and I, we are communicating a lot and have done that for, I guess, almost 18 years or so, maybe. I knew Morten before as a brilliant poet, but we never met. And then one day I was working also this maybe 15, 18 years ago with a video called The Test, and I needed some sound for this video, and I knew of Morten's. Morten had been broadcasting in the Danish national radio, and he had his own program, and so I knew that he had a lot of recordings of sounds, and I asked him, because I needed this thunder for the test, and he said he had a wonderful thunder on tape from Firenze on the mountain. And then while I was clipping this movie, he came to the studio on a bike with this great thunderstorm, and there we met for the first time.
Yeah, that's good.
And yeah, so there it started. But there were some years where we just met on openings for exhibitions and so on. So I guess when it really started, Morten, can you tell me when was that?
No, no, I'm sorry. But I think it's a beautiful story. It started with the thunder.
Yeah,
I think it's wonderful. Yeah. But it kind of it was a long crescendo.
Yeah.
Into this. Yeah.
It's still on its way up.
But I think this the blue. I mean, you for me, when I think about your paintings, they are often blue, and I would like to ask you: did you paint the painting yet?
No.
No, not yet. Okay.
I haven't even stressed the canvas, so.
Okay.
No. But I have it in my studio. I have the stretches and I have the canvas, but I wait for the right moment. But it's still developing in my head. But it's very dangerous to talk too much about it.
Sure. I can.
But when you look at the painting behind Maria, this is a detail of this great painting.
It's a sketch, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a sketch for this.
Yeah. Like we had quite a few sketches in the exhibition. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'll try to make it more visible here, and one can see you and Morten performing in the painting.
Yeah. Okay. This is a very important detail. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's funny. It's from a performance we did in Saint-Étienne in Musée d'Art Moderne.
Yeah.
In Saint-Étienne, where I exhibited in, was it in 2016?
17, yeah.
Yeah. Solo. And Morten came and we did this. And it was also with the word pharmacy. So, yeah.
I think it's for us here working on the exhibition, it's been so interesting to see your two artistic worlds meet, because you are two very different artists, and it was the blue, the shared fascination for indigo that somehow became the link in between your universes. And I would like, maybe it would be interesting that you talk a little bit about what you do and how you connect with each other artistically.
Who will start?
Maybe, Morten, go.
Okay. But I mean, it's wonderful to think about this exhibition that none of Peter and me has actually seen, which is a great circumstance, actually, because it's a very beautiful image of how we are communicating in a way. So we are constantly, let's say, it's like when we meet, when we are in the same room, it's actually sometimes very awkward, because we send letters to each other, we have messages, and we send just things, and it's a long conversation through other things than actually being together, since also we live in different countries. So I think it's just so beautiful that we didn't even see the show where we were together, this empty space. And I think our collaboration will be this kind of coming into this space where we don't are present in a way, and I think that's very beautiful. And I don't know if you have anything to say to that, Peter.
Yeah, to me, this is the generator in a way, that it's familiar to the old melancholic state of mind, where you send a letter and you wait and you hope for something, and suddenly one day there's a response, and it's a very strange. But when we are together, it's very, very different. It's like I feel like being more than two persons. It's really
beautiful,
a strong feeling, and it's because what I admire about you is that you are so in a way limitless in your the way you're working artistically. You cross over to different branches all the time, and combine sound and music. You're also a DJ, and you work with avant-garde musicians, and but you make this word pharmacy, and you do visual art, and there's a lot of poetry in everything you do. And what is very also typical for you is that you always work together with somebody else. It's very nice, and so I'm very fond of this practice of yours. So and for me as a painter, well, I do sound too, and also write and so on. So, but I'm more an amateur besides you in writing. But I get a lot of inspiration from you.
So that could be a very nice image of our collaboration, that it is kind of musical, a kind of blue collaboration. But I just want to throw in one association, which is the lapis lazuli and the blue, because in the history of painting, that color was so precious, and you have to actually travel far away to get it, and it has been this kind of color that was a symbol of traveling in a way. So that I think that we can use also in this sphere of blue that we're talking about.
Yeah, and it's so
ultramarine also. Yeah.
How much?
Ultramarine means that ones that goes ultra mare.
Yeah.
Beyond
the sea.
Yeah, that's true. But it really it's like I have really felt that this conversation about the blue color has been so rich and is still developing. It's strange. It feels like some kind of it's like a new road in a way. I don't know, as you are like me, we only do things when they really talk to us and when we really feel for it. So we see where it brings us. It's a nice path to walk down. Yeah.
I have one question for each of you, and I would also like Barbara to put a few questions. I'll quickly put my first question, which addresses Morten. As you know, I'm Danish living abroad, and you are a Danish poet living in Italy. What does it feel like to be working with a language that you're not surrounded by in your everyday?
That's a very beautiful question. So the whole journey to Italy was started 25 years ago, and it was actually a linguistic experiment, that what will happen if you move yourself out of the language. And in the beginning it was just this big silence, but I stayed, you can say, in this otherness. And what is, I think, very beautiful is every day I speak many languages. I speak Italian, I speak English with my girlfriend, and she's Polish, half Polish Italian. So Italian, Danish, Polish, English. So all these languages are there, and it's actually something I often think about, which is that even we have so many languages around us, it actually makes us more and more speechless in a way. And that's really, really interesting, that somehow all these languages create a silence in they're kind of turning around a silence, which is, I find very fascinating. So to have many languages around you actually makes you more and more confused in a way. And I, of course, use this confusion in my writing, and I love to trace etymological roots and all that. But it's interesting, and of course sometimes I have to go to Denmark in order to get the Danish, and I haven't started writing in either French or Danish or English or in any other language, but I would like to do that one day. But we should learn new languages. That's just and we should translate. That's why it's so nice to be translated also. We should translate. That's very important. Everybody should go down and find a book and translate it, because it's a wonderful. It's about also ultramarine in a way. So translate something, bring it back from the other side of the ocean. Yeah,
it's well, it's much more than just translating. It's it's connecting worlds, isn't it? Yeah. Barbara, would you ask maybe Morten? You had some questions for Morten, and then I will probably end with a question for Peter. I have a question that is important for me to put to Peter, but I will put it in the end. We are slowly approaching 1 hour.
Yes, I have many questions, much more than for 5 minutes.
Oh, go. You're welcome.
First of all, I would like to say that I actually saw the show. I went into the exhibition space, and
yes,
this was wonderful. And Peter, I was really impressed by the beauty of your paintings. And it's sort of entering a blue space. I mean, it's a gallery with white walls, but actually it was like entering a blue space. And also maybe tell you that there were so many people looking at your works that Maria even didn't see me. Just so you know that, well, now it's been closed, but many people have seen the beauty of your works.
Thank you very much.
No, it's true. They are gorgeous. And they are very blue. Now, it seems like your interactions are somehow about the blue, but when I go through La Trappe Soleil, Morten, there is only 9 times the word blue. It's only one poem where it's twice, and there is one poem where the title, there is like blue in the first verse, like the title, Systole sur les montagnes bleues. Now, I don't know, and I'm sorry for that, all of your poetic writings, have you written a poem actually about the blue that is entitled Blue, and that tells about, ultramarine, lapis lazuli, these different colors of blue, the idea that the blue is the color of transcendence, which you didn't say it like that, but that's what I felt in your conversation with Peter, or is that still to come?
Beautiful. No, I haven't got a blue poem in that way. It could be very interesting to try to write it. My debut as a poet was a blue book. The title was Sahara in My Hands. It was blue, and it had like a spiral from a violin on the cover. But the blue, I mean, maybe I can say it like this, that my generation was very, in a way, obsessed with taking a new step away from the 80s. My debut was in the 90s. And for me, the 80s, the color was blue. In Denmark, at least. The punk scene, all that. The melancholy, in a way. So we were entering a new open field, and that was not a blue space, in a way. So I think that was my starting point. Even my debut book was blue, and I think it's very important what color a book has. Like, I think white is a very good color for a book because it's actually open the space in a way. So for me, blue was loaded, and I have to in a way to reconquer it, if I would say. just to cut my answer short here. I have to reconquer the blue.
Do it.
Yes, I will try.
Yeah, may I have one more question?
Of course, yeah, you're welcome.
I would like to know, Morten, who is habilitated to do word consultations? Is there a school?
What a wonderful question! I would love.
Get a diploma in word consultation?
Wow, what a beautiful idea! I would say everybody is entitled to do a consultation. It can happen everywhere. Everybody can do it. It's free, but yeah, I think just read the leaflets and then you are good to go. And I would love you to do it. Please do it. And you can even, I would say, you can invent your own questions. They are just mine. And yeah, questions are very interesting also. So yeah, thank you for that question.
I will wear a white coat as a doctor and start tomorrow.
Do it. I will love it. I will love it.
We have, of course, been promoting the word pharmacy, saying it was a universal remedy and it was everlasting, So, yeah, well, I had a question I would like to put to Peter, because I have had the enormous joy of working with you for now 21 years. And it's a very symbolic number. It's 3 and 7, so it makes 21. And of course, I have been looking a little bit at what you were doing during that time. And I think that history has been very important in your work in a certain way, but now is, of course, and always has been very important. How is it that has now become more important? Do you more freely give room to your personal emotions in your work now than you did like 15 years ago?
Yeah,
it's many questions.
It's a difficult question because a lot of my works are done from a state of mind where I'm actually not thinking very much. I'm just present, and but I have a feeling now that something is occurring. I was actually much more constructive earlier in my younger days. I was constructing a lot and using very few elements in my works. And very pragmatic in a way, because I use these simple figures. I put them together just to discover what happened when I put this together with this, and I was using color, just helping my idea. Today, I think I'm more aware of the color, the power of the color, and also I'm also letting myself feel much more in my paintings. I was actually afraid of putting too many feelings into my works earlier on, because it was a mix between feeling that it would be too private if I put my feelings into the works. I wanted my works to stay cool, to have this appearance of just being, without trying to convince anybody about anything. But as when I'm aging and feeling more free and loose, I guess I let myself do things that I would never ever do as a young guy. So you can say I'm really yeah, and I don't know where it will, where I will end up, but right now I'm working with paintings of woods and a lot of plants, and there's a lot of nature, and I really feel when I paint this, I'm trying to get into get some kind of connection to nature and to the environment, and in a very different way, and maybe this is very romantic. I think so. And I don't care if it's not modern painting or whatever it is. I just want to make good painting. So this is my conclusion. I'm walking on a road. I don't know where it leads me, but I'm convinced that I will find something that can make the body of my work more fulfilled in a way, and I'm also I also hope that the viewers, the audience, can get some kind of sense of what I was actually thinking or feeling when I lived here on Earth.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit romantic, but I hope you understand.
I think I understand, and personally I'm both happy and grateful to be standing behind a small tree along the road here and watch, and I would like to use this forum to thank both of you, Peter and Morten, for the show. We definitely enjoyed so much being with it. It was a fantastic blue cure, and so many people, I think, came and got some good drugs from it. And thank you so much. And I think we are reaching the end. Barbara, it was great to have you with us. You have disappeared a bit from the screen, but you are still there. Thank you so much for being with us. And I think this will be the end. I just know we have one last thing we need to say. And I will start. It's blah.
Blah.
Bleu.